Have you ever just stopped and wondered what the deeper architecture of your life is really all about? You know, the real reason behind all the ups and downs, the joys, the struggles. Well, today, we're going to dive into one of life's greatest mysteries, drawing on some incredible spiritual wisdom to really understand the soul's amazing journey.
And it really all starts with this one question, a question pretty much everyone asks themselves at some point. Who am I? Am I this person living day to day, or am I this soul that's somewhere else? Are we two separate things, or is something else going on? Honestly, this question is the key that unlocks the whole puzzle. So, to get to the bottom of this, we first have to wrap our heads around the relationship between our everyday personality and that deeper self we call the soul. Let's kick things off with a really powerful analogy, the actor and the mask. You know, the psychologist Carl Jung gave us a fantastic way to think about this. He said our personality is kind of like a temporary mask, the persona, that we wear for the world. But the soul, that's the entire actor behind the mask. So you see, there's no real separation. It's just that we have this tendency to identify with the small, temporary role instead of our much, much bigger, truer self. And this idea is backed up by some amazing work from the hypnotherapist Michael Newton. After regressing thousands of people, he found that souls don't describe being born as a separation at all. They describe it as just a change in perspective. It's like looking through a telescope. Your vision gets really narrow and focused, but you don't suddenly become two different people. You're just zeroing in on one tiny part of the sky. And then, of course, the philosopher Alan Watts just puts it so beautifully with this metaphor. We are both the wave, this specific temporary thing, and we are also the entire ocean, vast, eternal, and all-encompassing. That feeling of being separate, it's just a game consciousness is playing with itself, just for a little while, pretending to forget its own immensity. Okay, so if we are this vast oceanic consciousness, that brings up a really big question, right? Why would we forget that? Why play this game of separation in the first place? Well, that brings us to our next chapter, the game of forgetting. This is the million-dollar question, isn't it? If we planned parts of our lives before we got here, why is there this veil of amnesia? Why can't we just remember the game plan? Well, the answer is surprisingly simple, and honestly, it changes everything. The spiritual teachers and sources are pretty much unanimous on this one. Forgetting isn't a bug in the system, it's a feature. It's the whole point. Think about it. A game is only fun if you don't know the outcome. A movie is only exciting if you haven't read the ending. Forgetting is exactly what makes the experience of life feel real, authentic, and truly meaningful. And this quote, which comes from a soul speaking through one of Dolores Cannon's clients, just says it all perfectly. This amnesia is a choice. We make it. We choose to forget so that our choices are actually free, so our challenges feel real, and so the wisdom we gain has real depth. We don't want the answers before the test. Now, this whole idea of choosing our challenges, it leads us right into that classic debate, doesn't it? Destiny versus free will. If we design the tests, then how much is already planned and how much is up to us in the moment? This next section is all about what we could call the soul's self-made curriculum. So think of it kind of like designing your own personal course for college. Before you're born, the soul, often with some help from its guides, chooses a main theme for the lifetime. Maybe something like patience or forgiveness or courage. Then it sets up some key challenges and designs major turning points. You know, those big life events that are meant to push you to grow. But once class starts, once you're born, how you react, the attitude you bring, the day-to-day choices, that is all completely up to you. And it all boils down to this incredibly elegant and simple idea. The soul creates the map. It sets the destination and highlights the key landmarks you're meant to visit. But the human personality, it's in the driver's seat. You're the one who chooses the scenic route, or the shortcut, or maybe even to get totally lost for a while. Destiny is the map, free will is the journey. So where does something like karma fit into all this? Well, first off, forget any idea of a cosmic judge with a big ledger keeping score. The sources we're looking at describe it more as a natural feedback loop. It's just the energy of our own unresolved actions and emotions seeking balance. It's not punishment. It's more like the soul quietly whispering to itself, hey, let's go back and finish that poem. So we live, we learn, we grow, we balance our energy. But what's the ultimate goal? What is the whole point of all these lifetimes, this grand self-made curriculum? Well, that brings us to the final and most profound part of our journey today, the journey back to oneness. And this is a big one. It's a question that can actually be kind of scary for some people. After all this work, all these lives spent building a unique personality, do we just dissolve back into some undifferentiated cosmic soup? Is the end game of all this evolution just annihilation of the self?
The answer, from every one of these sources, is a resounding and emphatic no. Returning to the one isn't about disappearing. It's about finally fully understanding who you were all along. It's not a loss of self. It is the ultimate completion of self.
I mean, just listen to this incredible firsthand account from Anita Moorjani's near-death experience. She says she merged with everything, and yet she never felt more herself. It was the total opposite of dissolving. It was expansion. So you see, oneness doesn't erase you. It just expands you into infinity. It frees your identity from all the fear and all the limits. So, what is the point of it all? Why go through all this? Well, we return transformed. We journey through this experience of separation to expand our ability to love, to gather unique wisdom and incredible stories, and to become a conscious lens through which the universe itself can experience and know itself. It's like the drop of water returning to the ocean, but carrying the unique fragrance of every shore it's ever touched. So in the end, the goal was never for the drop to vanish into the ocean. The goal was for the drop to finally wake up and realize it was the ocean all along, and then to be able to express that oceanic truth in its own unique, beautiful way. And that leaves us with this beautiful, incredible paradox that really resolves everything. Our fundamental unity, the fact that we are all one, means we are eternally safe. We can never, ever truly be lost from our source. And our individuality, our manyness, is the very thing that allows for this grand adventure of learning and loving and evolving. It's not a contradiction. It's the whole celebration of existence itself.